And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. Maui Jim Sunglasses, the choice of the best captains. Shimano Rods and Reels, fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Welcome back, hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. Captains Brian Kiyohara, Captain Ray Lopez from the American Angler, talking fishing here in Southern California just the week before Christmas.
The good times, man, and good fishing going on. Still just crazy how much this season is just rolling on, hearing about good yellowtail fishing from the boys up above, and still great bluefin fishing locally on the 60-mile bank. It's just been an awesome year, and we're having an awesome show and an awesome morning. We want to hear from you. If you want to be a part of Let's Talk Hookup and join us in this second hour, there's 2 ways that you can do that. Again, our local number, that's 858 area code 457 1090. There's one of those open right now. It was full during the break, but that's going to be your best shot. Again, 858-457-1090. Or call us on our toll-free number. That one's 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. Not only are we answering your questions and having fun, also giving away a great prize. One lucky caller at the end of the show today is going fishing aboard the San Diego out of C4 Sport Fishing. A great 3-quarter-day trip going to one lucky caller at the end of the show.
There you go. Let's jump into the phones, Rick.
You got it. Well, they're definitely packed up. How about this time we talked to Bruce, and he's calling us from Lemon Grove this morning. Hi, Bruce. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. Great show as usual.
Thank you.
Bruce.
Hey, the question was for Brian and Ray. With the closures down south a little bit, do you think this next coming fall we might have more 10 and 12-day trips?
I could see it for sure. It's with all the closures, it forces us to fish elsewhere. Because of which, like the lower banks, for example, in 05 and 06, different things happen. It seems like it forces us to think outside the box, and therefore, there's still several stones that are left unturned, and we start turning them over.
Yeah, like you say, the first time there was any issue led to what will probably be the greatest, big fish cow fishing in history, and it probably wouldn't have even happened had we not been, all right, let's go start doing something else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and look at this year. There was moments when there was some great fishing on the lower banks for cows, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of 300-pounders.
Yeah. A lot of different opportunity, a lot of different places to go.
And that's the thing that's cool about that. I mean, you guys obviously know far more than anybody in the world, but those lower banks, there's a lot of spots a guy could fish that are 20 miles from another, but are a whole different world. A big school of fish can be on that spot, and you could be 20 miles away and just be fishing in an absolutely different zone. And there's room to spread out, and fish will get associated with structure, or sometimes it's on schools of dolphin. I mean, there's some magnetic areas to fish down there.
Yeah, a lot of good country.
Yeah, that's cool.
Theoretically, it's over 100 miles long of lower banks.
Yeah.
That's
pretty
cool.
Impressive. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right. How about this time we talked to John? John's calling us from Mira Mesa. Hey, John, thanks for hanging in there with us.
Yeah, good morning, all. Okay, so I'm pretty well equipped for with long-range gear and so forth, but I haven't been able to convince my buddy that the better boats have good loaner gear. He doesn't have anything adequate for a trip longer than maybe a 3-day trip. So I was hoping maybe he's listening. I was hoping maybe you can tell Phil what's available and that there shouldn't be a problem for him.
Yeah, we offer everything. I mean, we don't really have one particular company that we stick with, but we offer all the best that we can provide you with. Whether it's rods or reels or line or fluorocarbon and hooks and everything. So
all you need to do is just call Laurie in the office.
You just show up.
Arrangements.
Yeah, you let Laurie know, and then so we know in advance.
Yeah.
But that's our thing on the boat. It's like if you don't have it, don't buy it. Because, especially guys like your friend that's coming out, don't worry about buying the rods and reels. We got it all. If it's something that you're into and you enjoy, then go ahead and see Rick at the tackle shop.
Yeah.
It's like, don't go out and buy a new set of clubs to go golfing. You might not like it.
And what a great way to do it. Like, I mean, especially just like Ray was saying, we got a little bit of everything on the boat. You know, maybe you're going to, you know, Phil's going to go on this trip and he's going to fish several different rigs. And after his trip, he's, oh my God, I love this. I already put my money down for a 5-day next year, and I loved the way, I loved the way that Talica fished. That's the reel I'm going to add to my arsenal next year. And so instead of borrowing 3 rigs from the boat, I'm going to buy that one. I'm going to get the 2. And then the next year, you know, whatever. I liked the way that Penn fished. I'm going to get that thing. I'm going to add that to my arsenal. Now I only need to borrow 1 rig. And that's just, you know, it doesn't need to be this multi-$1,000 buying of gear every time you go. You know, you can, like,
I'm going to take a guess, too, that you have all that gear serviced by Ken's Custom Reels.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah.
You know, we're real fortunate. We know it's one big community, one big family. You know, Let's Talk Hookup, all the different companies. But Jack from Accurate, Avet, Penn. You know, I mean, everyone is real. You know that
they
don't discriminate.
To use their gear.
Yeah. And so it's it's one of those
really
things.
diverse.
Yeah,
that's
like,
great.
And what a great opportunity for the manufacturers. I mean, because we see it in the tackle store all the time. You know, I mean, for sure, a guy like Phil that borrows that reel is so much more likely to purchase whatever that reel that he used. Man, I went on a 5-day, and we went to Guadalupe, and I got a 120-pounder, and I didn't think I'd ever catch a fish that big, and it worked perfect, and it was flawless, and that's what I'm going to buy. I know that works. And it's a great way for everybody involved.
So tell Phil, go.
Yeah, make it happen,
Thanks a lot, John. Appreciate the call this morning. That does free up for the first time in quite a while, 877-792, or actually, no, that's the 858 line. 858-457-1090.
All right. How about this time we talk to Gus? He's calling us from Burbank this morning. What's up, Gus? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Yo, you guys.
Yo, Gus.
Gus.
Yo, Rick. Welcome back.
Thanks, buddy.
Listen, I am not an expert or in finances or income taxes or anything like that, but I made a donation to Friends of Rollo, or the Rollo's Kids, and I didn't do it to make, you know, a tax deduction. I did it to donate to the cause, but you know, next year you may not be able to claim a tax deduction. So the reason I'm calling today is to tell our listeners, please donate to Friends of Rollo, because next year you may not be able to take the deduction. And, you know, if you can get in a donation before the end of the year, you probably can.
Yeah, and
so
you made
that's
quite
all
the donation, too, there, Gus. You gave your boat to your much-beloved skipjack to Friends of Rollo, and much appreciated. It's going to take a lot of kids fishing. So just go to rollokids.org, rollokids.org, and like Gus says, good time to donate right now. Get the tax benefits for this year, for sure. Appreciate the call this morning, Gus.
All right, how about we jump back into him and talk to Charles? He's calling us from Valley Center this morning. Hey, Charles, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, how you guys doing?
What's up, Charles?
I have a question for you guys. I live in in this area. What is the closest place I can go to catch rooster fish?
I would say probably the East Cape area at the right time of the year would be. I can't think of any place closer than that. Can you guys?
East Cape.
Yeah.
So I got to go down to the Sea of Cortez, basically?
Yeah. I mean, they have them all the way. I mean, I've caught them down in Costa Rica and Panama, but the best, they say the best in the world is right there along the East Cape, Rancho Leonero, Palmas de Cortez, Playa del Sol, whole area there. And springtime is a very good time to go down. April, May, June, that's a good time for roosters.
I mean, there may be areas that are by mile closer north to your house, but not by enough. And the convenience of going to the East Cape, there's definitely not going to be an easier way to catch one. There's, half a dozen flights a day, every day. It's an hour and 45 minutes, and you're there. You can stay at a rad place on the beach and hang out and
really
catch a
good
rooster
boat fleet.
fish. Yeah, I mean,
guys that know how to catch them.
If you were looking to the closest one by mileage, maybe they're north there a little bit, but I guarantee you there's nowhere easier than going to the East Cape.
Yeah, no doubt. So check that out. In fact, join us in June for our Let's Talk Hookup Rancho Leonero trip. I think there's a couple spots still available. That's prime time, really prime time for roosters and kind of a lot of other stuff too down there at Rancho Leonero. Like all our trips are available. Thanks a lot for the call, by the way, Charles. All our trips are available at our website, hookup1090.com. You just go to the trips page, and you'll just look up your favorite trip, and that Rancho Leonero trip's right there. And also, like I talked about yesterday, also there are the 2 Katmai Lodge, Alaska, Alagnak River, Alaska trips that are just absolutely sensational trips. And we've cut the deal of a lifetime with Katmai Lodge that I promise you is never going to happen again. So if you ever dreamed about going to Katmai Lodge, this is your opportunity. Go in July 14th through 18th with Rick on the Let's Talk Hookup Davis Boats trip, or with me with Let's Talk Hookup Cussler Yachts trip with myself and Pete Giacalone, August 25th to the 29th. The August 14th trip, you're going to catch a lot of salmon and king salmon, sockeye salmon, chum salmon, and giant rainbow trout. Great time at the lodge there, and you'll take a nice box of fish home with you, and unbelievable bear watching and wildlife viewing and stuff like that. It's an amazing experience. The August trip, trophy trout season and silver salmon season. You'll take a box of silver salmon home, sockeye or coho salmon home, and catch the biggest trout you've ever seen in your life, one after the other. Both the trips have been discounted $500 off the regular price, $39.95 plus your airfare to Anchorage. But the trip in August also throws in a $500 free flyout. So these trips are going to go away. This discount is going to go away in the beginning of January. So if you've been thinking about going with us and you want to take advantage of this incredible deal that we've struck with Katmai Lodge, Katmai.com, go to our trips page, letstalkhookup.com, trips page, check out either one of those trips and join us on that trip. You will not be sorry, I can promise you. It's trip of a lifetime.
No doubt. Well, hey, let's jump back into the phone calls. Everybody's packed up wanting to talk to the boys. How about we talk to Al, calling us from Valencia this morning. Good morning, Al. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Morning, Ricky. Morning, guys.
Hey, Al.
Hey, Brian and Ray. This is Ryan's dad. I tell you what, you got the most professional crew. You helped a 14-year-old kid catch his first cow a couple years ago in December.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you're professional.
I remember it, like yesterday.
14-year-old caught a 200-pound tuna?
246.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he hooked it himself, too.
That's awesome.
Really?
Yes, he did, and he beat out Bill Randall.
Very nice.
But my hat's off to that crew and that management of that boat. I mean, it's one of the best run operations I've ever seen.
Thanks, Al. We appreciate it.
Buddy.
And I want to thank you guys and have a Merry Christmas.
You too.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you, Val. Appreciate the call this morning. That's quite a story. A 14-year-old, 246, like 3 times the size, huh?
Where was that Lower Banks, or was that buffer zone? One of those.
Buffer zone.
Yeah, that's cool. Good for him, man. What a cool fish.
Awesome.
That's rad. How about Mike in San Carlos up next on Let's Talk Hookup? What's up, Mike?
Oh, hi, guys. It's Mike, your expert novice. Mike, hello?
Good morning,
Hello.
Mike.
Good morning.
Yeah, Mike, I have 2 questions. One is, how are you supposed to let the air out of those fish instead of using a dirty fillet knife? And second question is, birds. Like, I know when you see the birds crashing, there's something there. But what are the subtle for different kind of birds?
So,
Big question. Couple of questions.
Releasing black sea bass, the best way to do it is using one of those release tools. The hard part is, if you get a 200-pound black sea bass, getting enough weight on there to get the fish down. Mm-hmm. And I've seen guys using their anchor, actually, to do that with a release tool, with a debarbed hook that's kind of inverted, and then kind of yanking it up with another line. You have a smaller line attached to the bend of the hook, and then pulling up on that to try and get the fish down. Rick, you have any input on that?
100% what we do. We have when we're fishing sea bass or an area where we're anticipating potentially catching a black sea bass, we have a milk crate that we just throw on the boat, and it's probably got 50 or 100 feet of tuna cord in it, and exactly the setup that you described. It's like I've got one of those like half-round freshwater type anchors, all vinyl coated, and that thing is tied to a big 12-0, like a 7691 12-0, with 2 feet of line that attaches the sinker to the hook, and then our tuna cord, our 100 feet of tuna cord, is tied right to the bend of the hook. So if you can imagine the anchor is pulling that hook straight down, you just put the point of the hook right in like the lip of the fish and drop it down, and
of course debarb.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And you just as soon as you I think it's like a 13 or maybe like a 10 or a 13 pound anchor, so it's enough for a pretty big fish because they're buoyant. Pete, you nailed it. That's the issue. A 16 ounce torpedo sinker is not going to sink out a 150 pound sea bass, but that thing works killer. It's easy to deal with. We have it in one of those half size milk crates, and you can throw it inside the center console, and that's what we use.
Yeah, good way. Brian, you have any input?
As far as the birds are concerned, it's just straight experience.
Yeah.
I mean, there's birds.
It's kind of a loaded
in
question because it just depends on what you're fishing for too. I mean, there's times we're fishing for different species. We're looking for particular kinds of birds. So, and next off, I would have to say just get yourself a good pair of binoculars because that's probably the biggest thing too. Is what's underneath those birds. Little tip-offs, whether it's a breezer or chippers or just all that kind of stuff. But, we could talk about it for hours as far as the birds go. I mean, whether you're fishing sea bass, anchovy balls and looking for pelicans pounding the anchovy balls or tern birds looking for tuna, that sort of thing. But
And that's such a good tip on a good pair of binoculars because that's the difference from seeing that there is a bird or seeing that there's a bird that's flaring different or moving the way that, one would maybe associate with being on fish or maybe with your eyeball you maybe saw a shadow, but then a good pair of stabilized binoculars, you realize there's a beehive of 2,000 terns that, your day is going to be made because you had that. I'm with you. A good pair of binoculars is the most invaluable thing. That is like, for us, I mean, we're a small boat. We don't have a sonar. We don't get to look with electronics. That is overwhelmingly the thing that catches us. Probably 90% of the fish we catch are because of those.
Agreed. Besides your rod and reel, it's probably your second biggest tool.
Totally.
Bigger than the side scanning sonar.
I would say so.
Electronics. Yeah.
So
make the investment.
Our binoculars have caught us.
You guys use gyro binoculars?
We have 4 sets going pretty much all the time.
Yeah, that's about a $20,000 investment right there, right?
Do anything to catch a fish.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in the entertainment business, so we have to entertain the folks.
Got to do it. Yeah, for sure.
Let's do it.
Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Good suggestion.
No doubt. Hey, let's go find out now what's going on the water. It's time for our FishDope.com report of the man, Captain Dave Hansen, your saltwater guide. And today, that catch report sponsored by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Fisherman's Processing is San Diego's finest, and that's why they're known as the Fish Pros, because once you try them, you're hooked. They'll fillet and vacuum pack your fish to your specs, as well as offer you the best in smoked fish jerky and their famous tuna burger. Check Fisherman'sProcessing.com for more details, or you can see them when your trip returns to the San Diego landings. Let's talk to the man. Dave Hansen is on the line. What's up, Dave?
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Dave.
Rick, Brian, Ray. What a phenomenal week again, guys. I heard Mark. I heard Brian. It's just mind-boggling that we're still talking about bluefin. We're talking about skipjack on the 9. But the most unbelievable thing, I think, that I've seen in the 50 years I've been doing this, yellowtail on the kelp patties in the middle of December. I was talking to my dad a couple nights ago. We were coming in from the 60, and every patty that we stopped on had yellows on it.
Wow.
It's just, I can't remember a time. My dad can't remember a time. He's only been doing this for 70-something years or 80 years or something. He can't remember a time we were targeting yellowtail on kelp patties in December. We've been pounding this into your guys' heads all season long. There is absolutely no reason to not go fishing. The weather has been absolutely incredible. The problem is, and like Gundy was saying, there's more fish than there are people right now.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable. We ran out of people. We literally ran out of people. You see these guys going to the 60 on the Condor and all those guys. They're all carrying super light loads. I don't understand it. The weather's better than it was all summer. We got phenomenal fishing. What's everybody doing?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Christmas shopping, maybe.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Christmas shop. Go get some tuna and give them away for presents.
Perfect. I like that idea, Dave. And, of course, like Mark said earlier, Danny's always on the pulse of what's going on, whether it be skipjack on the 9 or tuna on the 60 or following Captain Dave Hansen around. FishDope.com is your source. And a great Christmas gift, by the way. $20 off a new membership to fishdope.com. $149 for the entire year with that discount. Using the code HOOKUPNOW, lowercase, no space, HOOKUPNOW. And Captain Dave, this is probably a good time of the year to go fishing with you.
Absolutely. We got plenty of spots available. The boat's revved up and ready to go. Also, if you guys have your boat, you want me to come with you on your boat and show you how to use all that stuff you bought. And just like Brian and Ray were saying, if you guys are thinking about what do I need for Christmas, you need a pair of binoculars, a real pair. You need a real pair of binoculars. Like every client I talk to every day asks, Dave, what's the most binoculars? You got to have binoculars. You have to have a good pair of binoculars. So if you guys are looking for a Christmas gift for your buddy, get him a pair of gyro stabilizing binoculars.
You bet. All right, Dave.
All right.
Thanks a lot for that. And don't forget, next Sunday, no show. Merry Christmas to you, but we'll be back New Year's Eve with another report from Dave.
Perfect, guys. We'll talk to you next week. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, Dave. Thanks a lot for the call.
All right, let's jump right back into the phones. David, calling us from Chino. You're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Hi, David.
Good morning, gentlemen. Yeah, Dave just hit it on thing. I got relatives coming down. I got 8 people. I'm supposed to already set up a deal, but it's going to be now in January. What are we going to be hitting for in January? What kind of fish? And the 3/4 day is going to be working because that was the problem. They said they were doing day and a half. They could be doing 3/4 in January.
I'm sure there's going to be.
Yeah, and there'll be rock fishing or yellowtail fishing at the.
I'm sure the
Mexico, right?
Yeah, with the closures here, there'll be rock fishing in Mexico.
Yeah, absolutely. So January is a great time, and then would be a great thing to take the relatives out on a 3/4 day trip down to fish rock fish down in Mexican waters because January, February, the rock fish is closed in California waters. But we're fortunate if you go out a C4 sport fishing ride to San Diego, or you go Liberty sport fishing, or out of Point Loma sport fishing,
Mission Bell, yeah,
sure.
sure.
Be down there fishing rockfish, right?
No doubt.
All right. Hey, hope that helps you out. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right. This time we're going to talk to Cameron, calling from Wildemar. Hey, Cameron, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, boys. Happy holidays to everybody.
You too, Cameron.
Morning.
Hey, I got my Christmas gift a little early last Sunday. My wife won the 2 trips on the Aztec, and that was pretty cool.
Wow, that was nice. Yeah, that was great. And did you go?
Of course, of course. Me and my boy left out Sunday night. Fished Monday. We had limits for the boat. Actually, limits for the passengers by 7:30, and then we went looking for the big ones and didn't do quite well. But it was an amazing trip, man. Amazing trip. And just wanted to say thank you guys. And Captain Greg is legit, man. He is like a walking bluefin infomercial.
Yeah, it was really. It was fun having him on the show. That was the first time for Captain Greg Howard of the Aztec, and he donated 2. Ricky Organi donated 2 day-and-a-half trips to go.
Wow, cool.
To go on the Aztec, and they took advantage of it and went that night, and it was a good choice. Flat, calm weather and wide open fishing. It sounds like, Cameron.
Nice job, Cameron.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, man. And like I said, Captain Greg is legit. Awesome crew, awesome boat, and we definitely want to get back out there again. A quick question for the angler guys. If we need to make payments on a trip for in the future, like maybe the spring or summer, are we able to do that if we call in and set up something maybe like for a 5-day?
Absolutely. Lori's fantastic.
People do that all the time.
All
right?
the time.
She'll work with you however you need us.
619-223-5414.
Just tell her what you can afford to put down on the trip and what kind of payments you can make, and it'll easy arrangements.
Make
right?
it happen.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, Cameron, thanks for the report. Glad you guys had a great trip on the Aztec, and thanks to Captain Greg for that donation, too.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more great questions, more of the boys from the Angler. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Buying a boat is a big decision, and you don't want to make a costly mistake with the wrong one. This is Pete Giacalone for Cussler Yachts. I've been in the fishing business my whole life. In fact, there are probably many of you out there that have fished with me. Well, now I've taken my boating knowledge and joined the team at Cussler Yachts. Mike Cussler and the rest of our team are true professionals when it comes to finding you the right boat. Just ask Pete Gray. I helped him make the right decision on his new boat after an extensive search, and we can help you find the boat of your dreams. We specialize in sport fishing boats and are the exclusive dealer for Regulator Marine, the finest center consoles on the market. At Cussler Yachts, we know fishing and we know boats, inside and out. We can save you thousands of dollars and get you into the right fishing boat for your needs and budget. Cussler Yachts is located on the waterfront at the beautiful Konakai Resort, and you can check us out on our website at CusslerYachts.com. That's KUSLER Yachts.com. Or give us a call at 1-866-607-5471. Ask for Pete and let me know you heard about it on Let's Talk Hookup.
This is Rick Jensen with Sport Fishing Financial. I think most of you get that I'm a fisherman and work with the fishing community, but to understand exactly what Sport Fishing Financial does, ask yourself these 4 questions. First, do you really know how much money you'll need in order to retire comfortably? Next, do you know how much you'll have to save on a regular basis to reach that number? Do you have a process that includes a proven investment strategy and confidence that the money you save will grow? Last, do you have a plan for how to turn your savings into retirement income? If you don't have good answers to these questions, you're not alone. But you should, and I can make sure you do. In addition, if you own a business and currently provide or are planning on providing a retirement savings plan for yourself or your employees, we should really talk. We offer an outstanding variety of creative solutions that are sure to meet your needs.
Some of our listeners may feel overwhelmed. Others may believe they are already doing the best they can. In either case, I bet Rick can help. Set a time to meet with him and start planning for your personal or business investment success. Find Rick on the web at sportfishingfinancial.com or give him a call at 949-481-1807.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. For more than 58 years, the American Fishing Tackle Company has been recognized as the premier manufacturer of precision-built offshore fishing tackle. AFCO continues this tradition today with an innovative technical fishing clothing line designed and built by fishermen for fishermen. From our next-generation waterproof shorts like Tactical or Stealth to our new anhydrous waterproof jacket and bibs, the entire AFCO clothing line is purpose-built with the latest AFTEC fabrics and features designed to deliver for the demanding angler. To find AFCO products, go to AFCO.com and find a dealer near you.
Cast Tours is a family-owned and operated travel company that specializes in taking you to great fishing destinations. They take pride in providing the best and most affordable vacation packages available. For over 20 years, Cast Tours has been creating unique sport fishing and vacation trips. Whether it's a fishing trip, a family vacation, or an adventure, they will provide you the service and value you deserve. Call Cast Tours at 800-593-6510 or check casttours.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader.
The home of ESPN Radio. The mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
You know, it's been a busy morning. You've been trying to get through. Here's your chance. A line open at 877-792-1090 and a line open at 858-457-1090. Like I say, been a busy morning, tough to get through, but now is your shot. 858-457-1090. Let's jump back on the phones, Rick.
You got it, man. How about this time we talked to Robert? He's calling from Point Loma this morning. What's up, Robert? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. Hey, great show like usual. Happy holidays to all of you. Got a short fishing story, if you don't mind.
You bet.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, in fact, when Brian and Sam had just bought the Pacific Queen from Eddie McEwen, and I was fishing on there, that was my boat. I could not buy a strike. I couldn't get a fish over the rail to save my soul for some reason. It happens to all of us. I don't know why. I don't know if anybody knows why. So I'm on the troll, and, of course, somebody gets a jig stop. And I noticed this newbie. This guy's got an international pen on a new, probably a CalStar rod. Everything but the price tags are still on this stuff. Well, I noticed him before I can get my troll rig reeled up, he gets a strike. Some deckhand had helped him put a bait in the water or whatever. And he's holding his rod up real high, and boom, as soon as he gets that strike, everything just goes overboard, right? And it's gone. You know, it was $1,000 worth of stuff just gone. So now I'm reeling up my my trolling outfit, and guess what I come up with? A Penn International and a new rod. And the guy was thankful. He was more than happy. He kept trying to shove money at me. I didn't want any money. It was just nice to see somebody got a miracle and got their stuff back. I told him just give it to the crew. But anyway, that kind of changed my feeling about that trip. That was $1,000 fish. It was a fish. I'll take enough of your time. Hey, guys, thanks, and happy holidays to all of you. Great show.
Great story, Robert. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. Happy holidays to you.
I'm sure, lifetimes for both of you working on the boats, you got to have seen some cool, rod go over and then fish get caught, or there's got to be some crazy stories in the memory banks of, similar scenarios.
Rich Whitaker, who used to own the bent rod, underhanded the salami out at Socorro, 2 a.m, everything gone, mackerel, slime, rod and reel gone.
It's like casted it over.
There was 4 guys fishing, and me and Rollo were up, and a slack line comes up on a fish, and I'm like, come on, guys, there's only 4 of you fishing. Who is it?
Yeah.
No, not us, Brian. Rollo started pulling it. There's a fish on one end.
No.
Cut the line, spliced it, wound in a 100-pounder. On the other end, we went around 500 yards, a 100-pound monofilament later. We had the rod.
Really? So it was still in free spool.
It was still in free spool.
So he cast the bait over. It gets bit at some point.
And swam in a circle around Royal Polaris, and we were lucky enough to get a fish out of it and the fishing rod. Yeah,
that's a great
stars
story.
are aligned there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But there's tons of them.
That's rad.
Oh yeah, I've seen that a lot, huh?
Tons of stories.
Yep.
Yeah. You have a favorite, Brian? You've seen it all.
Well, you can't top that.
That rod and reel
Pretty
going
good.
over the side stories.
With the fish.
Yeah, with the fish. Turning into a fish, yeah.
What about you, Ray?
Same thing. Just, there's tons of them. Guy accidentally throws the rod over. And, I mean, it's one thing if you're fishing around where there's bottom. There's always that, probably your percentage of luck is a little bit better. But when you're offshore and your rod and reel goes over the side, but then I've seen it where, the rod and reel goes over the side offshore, but somehow we still manage to snag a line.
That's rad.
Rod and reel back.
It happens.
Yeah.
Guy can't be more stoked ever. That's just like the lowest of lows, and then the highest of highs get it back.
Whenever somebody throws a rod over, it's like, don't even stress it because everybody does it.
Yeah.
It's happened to me.
It's happened to me.
Everybody does it.
Yeah, especially when you have like salami slime on your hands. It's so easy to do, right?
Absolutely.
You really got to be careful.
What about, too, something that I know with Spectra and things like that we don't see much often anymore, but I know back in the day it was a way common thing. What about backup rigs and things like that? Is that still something that's common to see happen on big ones? I mean,
we have our backup on deck at all times. At all times.
Yeah. You used to carry skiffs, but you don't do that anymore.
Yeah, several of the boats did. We did on Royal Polaris for a few years. Mixed feelings on that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Don't really use that anymore.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah.
It's nicer to have everybody in one place.
Once in a while,
From being a skiff guy, Pete, you can imagine being out in the ocean and then all of a sudden the wind comes up and it's white capping and choppy and it's...
Things change quickly.
Yeah, there's seamanship involved and danger and the whole gig. So I think that's why. Because safety is our ultimate mission.
Absolutely.
Whenever we leave the dock.
Yeah.
Responsibility.
No doubt. All right, you hungry? Let's find out what's cooking. Yanni from Fisherman's Belly's on the line. What's up, Yanni?
Good morning, gentlemen. What a great show this morning. Good morning, Brian and Ray. I love listening to your show. And in terms of what's cooking, I got something different cooking today. I got something a little different. One of the reasons that I love Let's Talk Hookup is, I got to say, I always want to know where the hot bite is. But ultimately, in the end, I love listening to all the tips, tricks, and techniques of what's really involved for all the different kinds of fish that we chase along our coast. So earlier this week, I was thinking about what my real mission is, and my real mission, besides putting out all these crazy recipes of mine, is to really help guys become better cooks. So I launched a how-to series this week, and I'm starting with how to be a better cook, and it all starts, in my opinion, in people's pantries. Because I've found through my experience that, number one, people don't have their pantry stocked properly, and it kind of limits people on what they can cook. You go out, you spend a day or two out in the water, you come home, you even clean your fish, and then you go into the kitchen, and the first thing you do is open up your pantry, and if you don't have the right items in your pantry, you're going to be really limiting yourself as to what you can cook. Don't you? What do you think, Pete? What does your pantry look like?
Yeah, well, I saw that. Actually, I was perusing Fisherman's Belly this week, and pantries are important. You got to have it stocked, and you got to have it organized.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing is having it stocked and organized is one thing, but how about how to utilize what you've got in the pantry properly?
Sure.
If it's just like you're having the right rods and reels and the right tackle is one thing, but knowing how to use it is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
So my video goes through the items you have in your pantry, the important items that have in your pantry, and then how to use them. For example, I start things off with just simple salt and pepper. And believe it or not, there's a lot of people who don't know how to use salt properly. And I'm not talking about, using a lot or using a little. I'm talking about the difference between using a salt shaker when you're making food and using what I use and what most chefs use across the country, and that is kosher salt. Because with kosher salt, for example, you can take kosher salt in your fingers and use your fingers to judge the amount of the amount of salt that you're adding to your food as you're creating your food. And you can't do that with a salt shaker because you just can't measure how much salt you're using. And here's another thing about salt. People don't realize that as they're cooking and creating their dish, that they need to season as they go. I always talk about that in my videos. A lot of people tend to add salt to their dish at the end of creating their dish, and that's absolutely wrong. And that's just one of the items. And, I talk about hot sauce. I talk about... Go ahead.
Yeah, there's lots of different things. I'm just going to tell you, just recommend you watching that video. Go to fishermansbelly.com, and what would be the search that you'd want? Because you have so many recipes on there. What would be the search for that?
Well, if you go to my website and it's on the very home page, on the very front page, it's under the latest recipes, so you'll see it there. And if you go to my YouTube channel, which is Fisherman's Belly Channel, you'll see it there in the very first video. So, yeah, I recommend you guys get into it. I'm going to expound on it. I'm going to get into the items you need for your pantry to make Mediterranean food, to make Mexican foods. So there's going to be a lot more. I highly recommend you watch it, and so you can become a better fish cook.
You bet. Yanni, fishermansbelly.com. Merry Christmas to you, and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Same to you guys. Thank you so much.
All right, very good. All right, let's go ahead and jump back into those phones. You want to get through, still a chance at 858-457-1090. Howard in Santa Maria, you're next up. Good morning, Howard.
Hey, how you doing, Brian, Ray? I was tuning in a bit ago, and I had just heard somebody was asking about the rental rods on a boat. Just a quick story for him. I had about a dozen friends of mine that wanted to go on a 14-day. We jumped on with Ray, and half of them didn't have any rods and reels. We went out. They caught 2 300-pounders on the rental gear. I don't know how many 200-pounders on the rental gear. It was a phenomenal trip. We did a 10-day. Guys didn't have rental rods. Caught all the wahoo they ever wanted on it. And then we had a 6-day where they didn't have any rental rods. And they caught all kinds of stuff. So that gear is really good. The boat's really good. Ray and Brian are incredible. And I just wanted to pass that on. Don't be shy. That gear is good.
Got the top quality gear on the American
Thank
Angler.
you so much.
All right. Appreciate that, Howard. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Charles in Cardiff, you're next up. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning. Hey, thank you so much, Pete, Rick, Brian, Ray, for this show. It's really great listening to you guys every week, and I'm kind of getting back into fishing after a long time, and your show really helps me to learn a lot, and I just really thank you for it.
Thank you very much.
Hey, I got a question, and the question is this. Brian, Ray, you guys obviously have created on the Angler a service-oriented atmosphere, which is above a lot of other boats, I think. And my question is, guys, how do you go about selecting your crew, maintaining that atmosphere? Because, I was in business for 35 years before I retired, and I know trying to maintain, the atmosphere that you want is difficult. How do you guys go about doing that?
We have the opportunity we live with each other. It's 24/7. So, like when we leave on a 5-day trip, the crew, we live, within Ray, within obviously 90 foot the whole time, but there's a lot of times where we're side by each. And so we have the opportunity to get to know each other. And so with that family type deal that we have going on, obviously there's arguments and at times where we disagree with things, but we're able to work it out.
I think the communication factor is probably the biggest.
That's
Just willing, being able to communicate well with your peers, and not as long as also with the customers as well too. So
yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like you say, you have to interact with the customers, and let's face it, sometimes there's easy customers and sometimes there's difficult customers.
Right. A lot of adversity. Yes.
Yeah,
I think what it comes down to, it's we all love doing it.
Yeah,
and we like people, and like I said earlier on the show, we've seen great fishing and we've seen slow fishing, but the one thing that changes every trip is the personalities, and I think me, Ray, and the rest of the crew, that's what we love.
Yeah.
Diversity.
Just the diversity. Yeah. There you go. Good question. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. That does free up 877-792-1090. Let's talk to Jeff in Rancho Santa Margarita. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay, I got a case scenario here. We're out at the San Clemente Island on the backside, and there's bluefin tuna boiling, and we see some 200-pounders in there. I want to throw a popper. Now, what line would you recommend? Not my trolling rig, my international that's got 120 pound on it, but what line test and what outfit would you suggest throwing a popper at? Same thing with the flat fall.
I would have to say, first of all, you have to go down there at Fisherman's Landing and go see Rick, and he'd probably dial you in. But, I mean, as far as, a setup, I mean, there's so many different outfits you can go with. But whatever you can cast with, I think, would probably have to be the biggest thing, is something you can cast and, get it out there.
Castable 2-speed reel with 100-pound Spectra and a heavy top, at least 100-pound fluorocarbon top shot.
Yeah. Now, you guys are going to laugh at me, but I've had experience throwing poppers on big tuna down in Panama, and I can tell you, you get the right spinning reel.
Sure, I'm not laughing.
Like a Stella, and matched with the right rod that has power.
Yeah.
And you can put the hurt on a big fish.
Yeah,
on those, and you can cast a popper a long way. And the other thing important when you're working that popper, it works better using a spinning reel. You can just work it better.
It's definitely more user-friendly.
User-friendly. You don't have to worry about the line going back and forth. It's just, it's a proper tool for a popper. But I know a lot of guys in Southern California use other methods. And it's not that they're bad. It's just that if you're new to popper fishing, if you want a shortcut, get a big Stella, like a Stella 18,000, a Stella 20,000. Get the right popper rod, like an Orca popper rod, and you're in the game.
I would definitely say I don't have a lot of experience in poppers, but the little experience I do have, I would have to say that you would definitely have to have that Spectra.
Absolutely.
In play.
Yeah.
Just for the less stretch.
At least 80 pound, right?
Yeah, minimum for sure. If you're targeting big tuna.
Big tuna, yeah. Did you see a lot of popper fish this year and previous years? Brian?
Yeah, no, we've been popper fishing for a long time. Yeah. I mean, back when Rollo was on the boat, it was.
What did you guys use then? There were no big spinning reels that could land a big fish. What did you use back then?
We got worked.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Used our jig rods.
Yeah.
We were younger and
and
all that, but it's one of those things. It's just you hit it on the head using that spinning reel. It's being able to cast that popper.
Key.
It's key. You could have the best tackle in the world and not be able to get that popper in the zone.
Yeah.
So it's practice.
Yeah, and the other thing too that's nice is like it all happens to us. You get the fever going, and you didn't wet your line, and you got a little too excited, and you make the cast and bird's nest. You're done. It's over, right?
Happens to everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Indeed. Hey, I hope that helps you out. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. That does free up, again, 858-457-1090. Gary in Half Moon Bay. Thanks for joining us, Gary, all the way from Half Moon Bay.
Thanks for picking up. I've been patient, and I've been on long range about 6, 7. We're going to be my 7th time this following year. And, traveling is coming down to long range is key because I try to keep the weight down. I fly in airplanes, and, the luggage is heavy and all that. So my question is, I'm really big on water surface temp, and I follow NOAA to try to get the sea surface temps. I've been at the Guadalupe Island now 3 times. The first time was kind of hit miss. 2 years ago was unbelievable. My arms fell off. was the best trip of my life.
Awesome.
This past year in August, I mean, the tuna were taken by shark and calico bass. I mean, it's a hit miss. So I guess my question is, is there another site, or what else should I be looking at besides sea surface temp to plan my trip? And, everybody's booked out almost a year now to get on these boats, and it's kind of tricky.
So the question would be how to decide when to go? Is that kind of your
pretty much. Thanks for the help there. Yeah.
That's okay.
I think that's up to your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I used to fish in August, and, you light your fireworks first, then you go tuna fishing.
August is a good
And now
time,
I moved
right?
it back in October here because of the sea surface temperature is warm now out there, I guess.
Ray, when would you
flat
go?
comp season, it's blustery.
I would just, obviously the moon, everything plays a factor, but
what's the water temp there now?
It was 66 and 67 degrees.
Really?
Yes.
In late December.
Well, I remember it back in the big cow here on the lower banks. We were catching cows in 66-degree water in January.
In January.
Wow.
It's the ocean. It changes every day. And
I think you just got to go.
You just have to go. You just have to go.
Yeah, and you don't know. This year it's happening in December, but next year it could be happening in September, and you just don't know. You just got to go, and you got to just hope that that's the right trip. It's just fishing.
That's the beauty of going on these long-range boats. You don't have to worry about the sea temperature. They're doing that in the wheelhouse.
They're doing it all for you.
They're picking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the guys were talking about last year. They were catching that fish out there at the island in 62 to 63 degree water as well.
Wow. Yeah, so it can happen.
Yeah,
they stick around. What is it about that Guadalupe Island tuna that tastes so good? Why is it that fish is just insanely good?
It's
a 20 fish food.
Yeah, it's a 24-hour ride, and they're at Fisherman's Processing.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's you can't beat it.
Yeah, the quality. Somebody told me it's because their diet is scad. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
I don't know. They eat everything, right?
They eat everything.
Yeah.
They eat everything. I would just say purely because for 150-pound fish, it's usually longer trips. Whereas you catch a 150-pounder your last day on the Shogun, for example, and it's at Fisherman's Processing being cut within 24 hours. It's just
in perfect
you
condition.
can't get it any fresher.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. And when we come back, we're going to pick a winner, wrap up today's show, tell you about next Saturday. Stay tuned. Southern California's Sport Fishing Voices. Let's talk hookup on the mighty 1090.
Hey, everybody. This is Captain Dwayne Diego, 4-pack charter captain, here to talk to you about Parker Boats and the good folks at West Coast Marine. When it came time to start pinnacle sport fishing and get my own boat, there was only one choice. I wanted a Parker. Then there's a real good reason for it. The fishability and seaworthiness. I've been fishing on Parkers for years now, and I know the abuse they can take. Parker Marine builds a heavy-duty industrial-strength boat, probably overbuilt, but that's what I need when we're out 12 hours a day, over 300 days a year, running charters. The guys at West Coast Marine built me one heck of a fishing boat. From the custom tower with steering and throttle controls to the backup bait pump system, my Parker 2520 XLD will deliver me to the fishing grounds reliably and safe. Take it from me. If you're ready for a new Parker at a fair, upfront, honest deal, you need to see Kevin Kelly at West Coast Marine, located at 1555 Newport Boulevard in Costa Mesa, or check them out and their inventory and information online at westcoastmarine.com.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now 19 stores and more to come throughout Southern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find a location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
I got a garage full of fishing tackle, and every time I get out on the water, I realize I forgot something important. But I never forget my life jacket. I make sure my buddies wear theirs, too. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Great boats, free parking, and a fully stocked tackle shop. Just a few of the reasons Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top charter boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Eclipse, Apollo, Outer Limits, Pacific Star, El Gato Dos, Alexis, Pride, Privateer, Tribute, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half. 3-quarter and full-day trips available. Check out the full-service tackle store at Seaforth Sport Fishing. And it's all run by fishermen for fishermen. 1717 Quivira Road, just off Mission Bay Drive in Mission Bay. Book online at seaforthlanding.com.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know: CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Congratulations, Mike and San Carlos. You win a 3-quarter day trip to go fishing on the San Diego from C4 Sport Fishing. I know Captain Ryan Boschen's in the yard right now, but when he comes back, you'll be ready to go rockfish fishing down in Mexico starting January 1st. I'm not sure when he's going to go back in operation, but I'm sure it'll be real soon. But congratulations to you, and maybe you'll see Captain Brian Kiyohara.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
You never know, right? Captain Brian Kiyohara, Captain Ray Lopez, thanks. Great show, guys, and a great operation, the American Angler. Thanks for being a part of Let's Talk Hookup
Thank
today.
you.
And
enjoy being here. Love it.
Yeah, and if somebody wants to go fishing with you, how do we do it?
Lori.
Yeah, AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com on the web. Or what's the phone number in the office?
619-223-5414.
Talk to Lori.
Talk to Lori.
Yeah,
she's
get
the
on
boss.
the boat. There you go. All right, thanks, guys. Thank you. And thank you for listening today. We'll be back next Saturday. The Christmas Spectacular with Captain Mark Wish will be on the table next Saturday. Get your best take going. We're going to be giving away a whole sleigh full of prizes next Saturday right here on the Mighty 1090. Then next Sunday, no show. We're going to celebrate Christmas Eve. No show, but we will be back the following week, so you don't want to miss out. So see you next Saturday. Thanks to Adam on the other side of the glass for all he does for us, and thank you for listening. We'll see you next week right back here on Mighty 1090.